All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Realist Unboxing Podcast. I'm Joe Beeb, and this is Cisco, the Realist, from Everybody Loves Sports and the World of Sports Network. And got a lot to talk about this week. I'm going to do a quick recap of the Anthony Joshua Joseph Parker fight. I know we talked about it last week on the Ringside Reporter podcast show, but I'm going to kind of get Cisco's thoughts on the fight. As I said, I had the fight 116, 112 for Anthony Joshua. I thought it was a competitive fight. I thought Joseph Parker did well in the fight. I thought that when he created space between himself and Anthony Joshua, I thought he was able to kind of nullify a lot of what Joshua was doing. Joshua was kind of probing with the jab, but he really wasn't able to get in range to throw his power shots. And that had a lot to do with what Joseph Parker was doing with his movement, kind of sliding back, stepping off to the side, throwing a pesky rhythm breaker type jab, not really a scoring jab, but he was pecking away in spots. He was landing some good body shots in spots. And some people even had the fight a draw. And a few people even had Joseph Parker winning. I thought Anthony Joshua came on late in the fight. I thought he won the last 4 rounds clearly. I thought that once he stepped it up a little bit and made a commitment to being a little bit more aggressive and closing that gap, I thought that he had some success. But what were your thoughts on the fight? How did you see it? Do you agree with a lot of things I just said?
Well, I mean, you are right on point with your breakdown. It's an excellent breakdown. Uh, you know, as your breakdown this is the thing about the fight. Everybody looked past this fight before the fight happened. So people automatically went Wilder. You agree or disagree?
Yeah, they were looking at Wilder. Yeah.
So people automatically are looking at Wilder. What's the next fight? The negotiation. Is Wilder gonna come? Is Wilder gonna show up? Is he gonna agree to fight him? If Wilder is there waiting for the fight to be over. So we tend to see this in a lot of fight. And correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever there is a fight going on and there is an anticipation for the other fight, the fighter that is fighting the previous fight does not perform as well as he should.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua disappointed a lot of people, including himself. Anthony Joshua disappointed all of the former English, British, whatever people want to refer them as. He disappointed a lot of people. A lot of people felt that he should not be thinking Wilder. A lot of people felt that the referee really helped them a lot. That he got saved by the referee because of the danger that Parker could bring to him if Parker was able to get inside. Because regardless of anything, Anthony Joshua did not hurt Joseph Parker in any point of the fight.
No.
Joseph Parker did not find himself in trouble. Anthony Joshua displayed a lot of weakness in the fight more than Joseph Parker did. Well, the only thing that people could say about Joseph Parker from this fight was he was probably too small for him.
Yeah.
That's what the only thing people could actually say. The way that I start the fight is this. I have Anthony Joshua winning the fight. I had it 116, 112.
Like me, yeah.
The reason why I had him win the fight was not because he was impressive. I had him winning because I felt that when it came down to the fight was not, he didn't win the fight based on the damage he did. He won the fight based on the basics of the fight that he did. He was able to display his tool more than Joseph Parker did. He was able to use the jab. He used some of the uppercuts. They were not hard, but they were used. You don't really have to impress the judges when you have 3 belts. You don't really have to impress the judges. The other guy is the one that had to impress the judges. The hardest punch in the fight was landed by Parker. What I think is this. In that fight, we look at the fight. 6 rounds of the fight were up in the air. You agree or disagree?
A lot of swing rounds. I agree.
A lot of rounds could have either way.
Rounds, yeah.
So, and then you can, then the other 6, you can split it and you can say each one of them won 3 rounds. But you got it. Then you have a draw right there. But you got to apply that ring general. If Joseph Parker, in that momentum, in the 5th round, in the 6th round, the ref didn't get in the way, and Joseph Parker would have won those rounds in dramatic fashion, he probably would have made his bigger case, not for the victory, because he was not gonna come out victorious out of there unless he knocked them out. And Joseph Parker didn't do enough damage to the body to put a clinic on him and threw punches from different angles that could have surprised him and displays those questions about the chin being suspect.
Yeah.
We didn't see that. And we didn't see that. People are disappointed in Joshua, but Joseph Parker is a difficult opponent. Joseph Parker future is just as bright as anybody else in the division, because Joseph Parker is a difficult opponent because the head movement, you're not gonna, it's very hard. It looks easy because he's like this, you just see him like that. Listen, it's hard to learn a punch because he looks like he's going slow, but when you throw the punch, you're gonna miss. So people should not be so disappointed at Joshua, and they should give more credit to Joseph Parker.
I agree.
And they should be more mad at the ref. If there's anyone to blame here, it was the ref. Whether it was a plan by then to have the ref to save him, that's a different story. That's gonna come to speculation. That's gonna come to the expectation. But it was a very good fight, not the fight that I was expecting. I was disappointed, but I have Joshua winning. You gotta have a winner. Joshua won. But if you told me Parker won, I'm not gonna debate you on that. If you tell me it was a draw, I'm not gonna debate you on that either.
It's one of those type of fights.
Yeah,
definitely.
So.
And it wasn't so much what Joshua didn't do, or did do, I should say. It was what Parker didn't do, because some of those rounds were on the table. He created space. He made Joshua miss. But again, you have to make the guy pay when you make a miss. And one thing that I take away from this fight, and I'm starting to see, is Joshua is a tall guy. He's got long arms. He's got a pretty good jab. But him to throw those power punches and be effective with them, he needs to get close. He needs to be in the mid-range, and he needs to get somewhat inside, because when he's at long range, he doesn't have that guided missile of a right hand like Wilder has.
Like Lennox Lewis.
Like Lennox Lewis, like Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Guys that are really tall and long, like even Tommy Hearns, tall and lanky, they could throw that right hand from the outside.
They can let it all on one punch.
But Joshua seems to me like he likes to get up close in the mid-range, and his money punches are those uppercuts and those mid-range hooks. Guys can take the right hand a little bit, and when he likes to come over the top with it, he doesn't generate power just throwing long straight punches. He likes to throw those short torquing type punches, where he can generate power, and he likes to step in and come forward. It's not like I said last week on the Ringside Reporter podcast, where Wilder can kind of just plant and just play boom, boom, like from a distance and catch you at the end of a shot and really get you hurt and get you out of there. Whereas Joshua seems to have to really punch through you and throw everything at you and really put a lot of torque and leverage on his punches. And in order to do that, he's got to get somewhat up close, like I said, mid-range to inside. So I think the big problem for him in a Wilder fight is if he can't, close that gap against Wilder, and Wilder is able to really, get him at the end of his shots and cause damage from long range. I think Joshua's gonna have problems, because Joshua, again, is not as dangerous from a distance as he is up close or in the mid-range area. So the challenge is going to be for Wilder to kind of keep him out of that mid-range area. And another challenge for Joshua, on the other hand, is going to be for Joshua to not get caught sleeping on the outside, because I said this last week on the Ringside Reporter podcast, Deontay Wilder can be across the ring and throw a punch and land it from halfway across the ring. That's how tall and lanky he is. And the thing is you think you're out of range, and you think that the punch isn't going to hurt you from that far of a distance, because he's not going to be able to really punch with leverage. But it doesn't really matter, because he's hurting guys with those long guided missiles.
Look, the reality of everything is this: Deontay Wilder got power from both hands. So this is the thing.
Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua?
And Deontay Wilder have power from both hands.
Most guys will tell you he's primarily a right-hand puncher.
He is primarily a wide, but people underestimate the left hand sometimes.
He's got a great jab. I mean, he's learned how to use that jab
People
to set things up real effectively. It's not just a powering jab.
The guy comes straight forward and throw punches, boom, boom, boom. He doesn't come and he set up the jab and try to. No, he comes. So the fact that his left punch, his jab can set up the right hand for him, because right automatically when you react to it, he's jumping on you.
Yeah.
It is a very difficult fight for Anthony Joshua now, because look, Joshua is trying to make himself more into a finesse boxer.
Yeah.
And you know what happened?
That's a great point. I never thought of that. He seems to now say to himself, you know what? I'm fighting better guys now. I got a lot of big paydays down the road for me. Why take chances now?
Too soon to do that.
Exactly.
Too soon to do that. If you want to make yourself in the heavyweight division, that don't work. Go into the 12th round. We don't want to see two big men fighting for 12 rounds. You know what we want to see? We're going to see a knockout. We don't want to see him fight for 12 rounds. So look, if you say you are the baddest man in the planet, and people have to travel over there to fight you, as much as I like you and as much as I root for you, you really gotta go over there and put a clinic. Don't leave anything and people wonder and people to be disappointed on you, because the only people that were happy with you were the English fan and your camp. You was even disappointed at yourself after the fight. You didn't celebrate. You didn't look like you won. Now you over here, you saying, oh, I knock people out, but then you say, no, my job will take me around the world. Listen, whenever we see a finesse fighter fighting a very aggressive fighter, usually the aggressive fighter get the best of the other person. So especially in the heavyweight division, we've seen it all the time. So this is a different division. People want to see knockout. When you fight Wilder, we don't want this fight to go to the scorecard. No, if you have a trilogy, it's because in the first fight, you knock him out. In the second fight, he knocked you out. Now it's 2 knockout. In the third one, there's going to be a knockout. We don't want to see 12 rounds. So as a heavyweight, the whole finesse thing is not going to work. And if you are the man and you are the diva, you really have to go there and start killing people. Yeah. Not leaving questions about your performance. In your last performance, the fight have gone almost all round. And there is something that you are not sending the statement. So that's my thoughts on the whole Joshua situation. I didn't like the fact that he disrespected Parker, did not give him enough credit, and thought it was an easy fight, when in all reality, he was not happy with his performance.
Well, speaking of Joshua, he did call out Deontay Wilder at the end of the fight.
He had no choice.
And then he also said that he wanted to maybe think about taking a trip over to the United States with Eddie or Rob McCracken, his trainer. And they seemed to be a little bit serious. Not a little bit. They seemed to be serious about trying to make this Wilder fight now. And there were some reports this week that Eddie Hearn had made contact with Al Heyman and, Team Wilder. And they're looking to set up talks here. They're looking to start negotiations. There hasn't been any official negotiations, no word of them actually sitting down and negotiating, but there is allegedly contact being made between the two teams, which is promising. And Eddie Hearn did say something that makes a lot of sense. They need to get this fight done in 2018, because think about it. Anthony Joshua's got 3 belts. He's got a lot of mandatories that he's going to have to fight. I'm sure, he can get an exception for 1 mandatory, but once the 2 or 3 mandatories start knocking, because, the WBA may give him a pass. WBO may give him a pass. But is the IBF going to give him a pass? Because they're really strict about enforcing their mandatories. So sooner or later, he's going to just be bombarded with mandatories. So it would behoove them, as Eddie Hearn mentioned, to try to get this fight done by the end of 2018. Am I being overly optimistic here, or can this fight get done? And should it get done by the end of 2018? And do you want it to happen by the end of 2018? How badly do you want this fight? I want this fight really bad. To me, this fight is the biggest fight in boxing. I'm actually more excited about this fight than I was for Mayweather Pacquiao, and I'll tell you why. Because both of these guys are in their prime, number one, and number two, this is the heavyweight division. Both of these guys have both breathed new life into this division, which is supposed to be the baddest division in boxing. It's supposed to be the face of boxing, and finally, it can be the face of boxing if these two guys fight, in my opinion. Tell me, what do you think?
You know, I want to see the fight. That my only thing is this: what will happen if all of a sudden Joshua starts becoming the Floyd Mayweather of the heavyweight division?
Well,
and start saying, you got to wear this glove. This is the kind of glove you have to wear. We got to be in a bigger ring. Started making those things. Is he in position already to make those demands? And how much respect should the fan will have? Or they gonna look past this? He's gonna start like, what happened if the negotiation are all of this negotiation and all of this setting and everything to give him any advantage? It starts like all of these things. If he treats the situation like that, because look, the fight is not happening because they cannot agree on the money already.
Well, I don't know about that.
They already saying that.
I don't know about that.
He already saying, oh no, you gotta take way less. It's not the same thing. I am the biggest draw. So he say you gotta take 30%, and then in the rematch, look, and this is what more interesting. The first fight have not happened, and then they already agreeing on the rematch. And the rematch, you have to take on the rematch. I'm gonna take this, but on the rematch, you're doing the same. No, listen. Boxing has an opportunity of getting back to the top with this fight. Okay? Let them fight. And let them fight. If you're gonna make more money than him, so be it. But let them fight fair and square in a neutral zone. So whether it's over there or it's over here, let them fight in a neutral zone with a referee that is gonna let them fight. Make the fight happen. Give the fan what they want. You know, and if he's the real deal, look, him losing to him getting knocked out by Wilder doesn't mean his career as a heavyweight is over. Lennox Lewis got knocked down by Oliver McCall, and he prevailed. Klitschko got knocked down what, 2 times, and he prevailed. Like
three times.
Yes, he got knocked down 3 times.
Knocked out 3 times, yeah.
And he prevailed, and then had a great career. Muhammad Ali got knocked down by Frazier, right? And then he prevailed and got like, to be a real champion, what you have to do is you have to believe in yourself when no one does, and you have to get knocked down and get up. So him losing, he's not gonna lose the fan. If they are true fan, they are gonna support him. He just have to go there and fight and let the best man win. He can win, but in the last fight, he proved that he can get exposed in many different ways. And same thing in the Klitschko fight. And over the last 3 fights, almost his fights have gone almost distinct. So I mean, I just don't know what to say anymore about that. I would like to see the fight happen, but look, this is what's gonna happen. Eddie Hearns and him are gonna, and Joshua are gonna come to America. Joshua already saying that no man should leave his land. Look, if Lennox Lewis made those demands, as good as Lennox Lewis was, you know how much exclusive Lennox Lewis would have been and how much value his career would have had. I mean, Joshua is not reinventing the wheel. Many fighters have done that. Do you remember when Joe Kazaki didn't want to come to the US?
Yeah.
Like for many years. And then not only that, the thing about Joe Kazaki that I don't have no respect for him as a champion. And I thought Bernard can win the fight. is this. Joe Kazaki waited and waited, fighting with competition over there, and waited for everybody to get old. And then he came. Because although he was older, he took no punishment. So he came here when everybody was older. So if Joshua is trying to play that same card, it's not going to work this time because he is a heavyweight and there is somebody there to challenge him. And people are going to start saying that he's scared. That's my thought.
Well, you asked me a question. You said, could Joshua be the next Mayweather? Well, I mean, if he beats Wilder, he comes over to America, and if he fights Wilder in Las Vegas or something, or even if he has a fight before the Wilder fight, and maybe in New York against Gerald Miller, whatever, and if he establishes himself over here and gets a big win over Wilder, then he's on track. I mean, that will give him a lot of leverage. I mean, whoever wins the fight between Wilder and him, they're gonna have the heavyweight division on lockdown. So whoever wins that fight is gonna have a ton of leverage going into the rematch or moving forward in the division because they're gonna have everything. And how can you argue?
It will be lovely. I've never seen this. It will be lovely to see a heavyweight with all of the belts, like all 6 belts. Not 4, or 6. Do you imagine that? Yeah. I've never seen that. It will be.
Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing. In one regard, you could say, yeah, he's got all the belts. But in the next sentence, you could say there's too many belts.
Yeah.
Because when Lewis did it and Tyson did it, there was only really 3 major belts. Now I think there's 5.
Yeah.
5,
6. They have intercontinental. Like, it's always something.
Yeah.
And then they come in any fight, there is a trophy, there is something. But I would like to see the fight. I mean, I still don't think it's going to happen now.
Yeah.
No matter what they say. I'm not convinced.
Yeah. Another real big piece of big news that happened this past week is Canelo Golovkin's now off. I think Golden Boy saw the writing on the wall. It didn't look good for Canelo. They had a hearing. I think this hearing more so is really not about I think it was pretty clear and evident that the fight wasn't going to happen. I think the hearing, the major points of the hearing, the big reason for the hearing, in my opinion, was I think they just wanted to kind of determine how severe the punishment's going to be. I know they're going to have a vote. Again, that's a formality. When you have the commissioner filing a formal complaint, like I said, I think the whole board and the whole commission would follow suit with him if they vote. I think there's 5 people that vote, and obviously the majority has to win. I think everyone would have followed suit. I think that, I was wrong. I thought this was just a dog and pony show. I thought this was just for hype, but it's for real. I mean, in their rules it says, regardless of we talked about last week, regardless of why you took it or how you took it, whether it's an accident or you intentionally took it, or regardless of the amount that's in your system. In their laws and their rules, you get suspended. You're violating the terms of the commission. You're violating the terms and the rules of the commission. So whatever circumstances that made you take the drug or whatever amount is in your system, it doesn't matter. You're going to get punished for it, and they're going to punish Canelo. Big question is, will it be a year suspension? Will it be a 6-month suspension? Will this fight be rescheduled? Will it happen in September? Does Golovkin really care about Canelo now? Will he just, fight this interim fight or whatever, tune-up type fight on May 4th, a stay busy type fight, if you will, on May 4th? And will he focus on Billy Joe Saunders in September and just try to unify the whole division? So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But one thing is for certain, we know the fight's not going to happen on May 5th, and we do know that Canelo is going to face some type of suspension. And I think we both talked about this before. Canelo's career is in trouble. It's in serious jeopardy right now. I'm not saying that he's going to have to retire or anything like that, but I think that he's going to be losing a lot of fans moving forward. I think he's going to be held under the highest scrutiny by any testing organization, by any commission. He's going to be tested so much, it's going to be insane how many needles is going to be pricked in him, in my opinion. I think that the fans are going to always look at him as maybe, did he cheat in this fight? Did he cheat in that fight? So his career is going to be forever tainted, in my opinion. And I think moving forward, it's going to be a challenge for him to kind of win back the public appeal. And I think that wave he was riding so far in his career, I think that wave has come to a halt, and I think he's going to have a lot of problems moving forward in the sport in terms of being that popular figure, that face of boxing as he once was. What do you think?
Well, I mean, before I go to my point, do you think his career is over as a huge public figure? Is we're gonna see the cheating effect? How can he regain that trust? Meaning, when Roberto Duran says no man, it was pretty much he did a night in himself and he was over. But you know how he did it? He went up in weight and started knocking down the bigger guy. It started showing whatever excuse he made, he started showing that it happened because of that. That didn't slow. What can Canelo prove? I just want to know. I'm just curious. You tell me. What can he do that won't be questioned going forward? How can he get the people's trust? Humbling down, him becoming humble, and him becoming a people's person, and him getting better with the media. No, look, I do not like that guy. Part of it is this. This is the reason why I don't like him. He's not very humble. He is very stubborn. He thinks he's better than everybody else. He doesn't respect his opposition. And he always finds excuses and does not admit to the truth. And he is okay by being hate. And he's letting the people know, love me if you want, hate me if you want. I don't care whether you love me. I don't care whether you hate me. And he even told that to people that are interviewing him. He gets into it. He's not a people's person. He's not a media person. I don't know why the world like this guy. I really don't know. How can you like this guy? So now, my question to you, how is he going to be able to earn people's trust? How will you do it? If you Oscar de la Hoya, you are his promotion. How do we get the people to like this guy?
Well, you said that in the Roberto Duran situation, he just came back and he became a champion again. He took on more challenges and he achieved those challenges. And he became a multiple weight world champion. And people tended to
that's what made his greatness. Yeah. His greatness wasn't made before the fight. No, people are confused. No. Roberto Duran greatness came. People think that his greatness was before Sugar Ray Leonard. No, his greatness came after that. Yeah. That was actually the best thing that happened to him because he was able to go all the way up in weight and fight the bigger guy. He had Marvelous Hagler.
Marvin Hagler, yeah.
Saying that Leonard ran, but Marvin Hagler himself couldn't fight Roberto Duran toe to toe. That's why he earned the respect because people knew that he was really the handsome stone. He lived up to the name. When you want to be in Roberto Duran was not a people's person. Roberto Duran was a very disrespectful. Show a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct. Do you remember there was a lot of fight that he didn't even want to check the guy's name after the fight. But people used to like him because he used to. If you want to be mean and you want to be bad, you have to show that. And you are a boxer, you show that with your hands. You leave it all in the ring.
So this is the problem, in my opinion. After the fight with Golovkin, Canelo thought he won the fight, but when this rematch was signed, he said he had to work on things. He said he had to be busier. He said that he has to be more active. He said that he can't fade in the fight at all. He's got to show more stamina. I got to work on he said these things. I got to work on my stamina. I got to work on my punch output. I got to be busier and more aggressive, right? That's what he said.
Yes.
So Now he's taking a drug, or he was, I'm not saying taking a drug. A drug was found in his system after failing 2 PED tests, okay? That could help him with all those things, number one. And number two, he looked bigger. He looked more muscular. He looked harder. They were showing pictures of him in this training camp with his shirt off, and he looked significantly different than the last fight, in my opinion. So because of those 2 things, I'm saying to myself, you know what? This guy possibly, probably, more than likely, in my opinion, took the clenbuterol to get that edge. And he got busted for this drug before his training camp started, as I said, not to sound redundant, but I think he wanted to come into camp already in shape, already lean and muscular, so then he could just do training that was more focused on technique, strategy, just boxing, strategic type drills, and not have to worry about the conditioning as much. And then he could carry the benefits of maybe taking the drug before camp started into training camp. So it's a beautiful thing when you can enter training camp halfway there, because then you don't have to travel that much farther to get where you need to go. So the problem is, if he comes back and he starts having some lackluster performances, people are going to then in turn say, you know what? Was he on the drug before? And now he's off the drug. So this is why he's not looking as great. Because you remember they were saying those things about Manny Pacquiao. Once people were talking about him being, possibly taking PEDs, then they're saying that he knew he was going to be tested. I think there was a couple of fights where he was VADA tested. And then when he fought Mayweather, he was tested by USADA. So then people started saying, well, he doesn't look as good as he used to. Maybe he's off that juice. Is that going to be the same scenario with Canelo moving forward?
This is the thing. With Manny Pacquiao, it was this. Manny Pacquiao, the suspicion were clear because look, with Manny Pacquiao, I had a huge problem with Manny Pacquiao. I started fell for the guy, not the Marquez, knocked him out. But I had a huge problem with Manny Pacquiao because you know why? Because Manny Pacquiao was a guy in the middleweight division. Everybody was fighting with him, and everybody was going back and forth, and all of his fights were war. Yeah, the Barrera fight, even though he stopped Barrera in the first fight, it was a war. It was a fight like you hit me, I hit you. With Morales, right? So then he goes up in weight, and the bigger guy are afraid of him. You know what I mean? Instead of slowing down, Pacquiao got faster. You see what I mean? Instead of slowing down, he was a lot busier. He was busier.
Yeah, he's throwing more punches as a welterweight than he was as a featherweight.
Yeah. So
I said.
So there's that suspicion, and I had a huge problem with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I don't know if the fights were fixed, or I don't know if the power. I don't know because in boxing, no matter what we do, there is always suspicion that the fights are fixed. So I gotta be real. We always right. There is always a suspicion by the fans that the fights are fixed.
Well, I don't know if they think the fights are fixed. They maybe think that the judging could be suspect.
The judging could be suspect. Somebody can pay
suspect. Somebody big guys not putting up
that performance. Maybe
biggest effort he could. Something like that. I agree.
Yeah. People always say because even Malinagi after the fight said, "People, we gotta start the fight with brother."
Yeah.
Malinagi got so upset that he said, "Hey, you guys are fixing fight." So it happens. There is that speculation. So, but Manny Pacquiao never tested positive for anything. that's the only thing.
Never.
He never tested.
And that's all that's expected of you. I mean, I've said this several times, and it's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of guys in boxing at the top level that are probably taking some PEDs. But if they're passing the test, then there's nothing you can do.
But we've seen people get busted for steroids. James Toney.
Yeah.
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen people being linked to, we've seen people being suspended and being linked for steroids.
Yeah.
We see it all the time, right? We see it. We actually see it all the time that people are linked to steroids.
Yeah.
His condition got better and better. It's funny because his physical condition got better and better and better and better and better and better every single fight. And then they even show pictures on the internet of him with bubble in his stomach. Usually people take a steroid. I don't one that gets those type of things. Your stomach, you look hormone, in the stomach, you're not supposed to get anything.
GH guts.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a good look for the sport. How long you think he should be suspended for? This is
again. I mean, I think he should be suspended for a year, but now they're saying it could be 6 months because what they're saying now is they give him like a retroactive suspension. So I guess the time that he failed the test up until the hearing, I guess they're going to give him time for that. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing all types of crazy stuff, but I don't know. I mean, people are saying that this fight will probably happen in September. I'm not so sure that the rematch will ever happen, this year or if it ever happens again. Maybe Golovkin's like, you know what, I don't need this guy. I'm tired of dealing with this guy and all these preferential treatment. But now finally the preferential treatment didn't save him this time. I guess the commission had to do what they just did because it is in their rules, and if they didn't do it, my question is why they take so long to act on it, because he failed the test I think back in February, and they didn't act on it until I think the end of March.
Because this was gonna be damaging. This was gonna be the end of his career and probably the end of the end. Like he was the biggest. He is the biggest cash cow. He is the guy that supposedly people want to see. But now, my thing with him is this. Another reason why I don't like him. I feel like he never paid his due to get over there. He didn't climb up the ladder the right way. I don't think he worked as hard as Golovkin have worked to get over there. He always been a favorite. He always been liked. But this is a man that have always getting exposed even when he wins. Yeah. Even when he win by knockout, he getting exposed. My thing with him is this. And then him too, whenever the fighter is gonna come and face him, the fighter is no longer the same. Look at James Kirkland. James Kirkland and Alfredo Angulo. Those guys hit people hard. And Golovkin hits people hard. But all of a sudden, they put everybody in the canvas. Even Jacob hit the canvas with Golovkin. Angulo put everyone in the canvas. Kirkland too. But when they faced Canelo, their punches were nothing. When Golovkin faced Canelo, his punches, listen, no, something is wrong, and he's probably been taking that for a long time, because there is no way that guy hitting like that, your shin cannot be made of steel. You're gonna feel when those guys hit him, their head don't even, his head didn't even move. Like he moved, and then there's something weird here. No, he doesn't have that power, like that much stuff to take punishment. We've seen guys that can really take punishment and they break down. Like you saw Antonio Margarito going there and nobody could put him down, and people eventually those guys were down so many punches. So there is the speculation. Like all of a sudden, those guys go in and they don't hit hard. No one. And Canelo, the difference between Canelo and Daniel Jacob, at least in the Golovkin fights, this. Canelo in all of the fights too, he's always been the bigger guy. Wait, that's not how you're supposed to fight boxing. If you were 154 pounds, you cannot go to the ring weighing 180 pounds. That's a disadvantage, and that is wrong. So Jacob in the Golovkin fight was between 185 to probably even 190. Jacob was big. That's not the point. I'm not taking credit away from how good Jacob fought. But Jacob hit the canvas. But Canelo didn't do it.
No.
If you understand what I mean? Jacob hit the canvas. but Canelo couldn't do it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And there was a reason people say, oh, Triple G only threw a shot to the body. He didn't go like that. I didn't get for whatever reason he had to do it. I didn't understand. But the thing about the guy is that in the way he's win, there's always a question. Is either he fight and a lot smaller guy and win, or when he fight guy his size, there's always weird and the way he win, and there's always a question whether he won or not. And that's why I cannot have a guy like that being the face of boxing. And that's why I cannot, and that's why I don't agree with him and being the face of boxing, because look, a Mexican fighter need to get better at this. They don't really care about their American fans. You know why? They have all the time in the world and all the money in the world. And I'm sorry, people, don't get the wrong way, to learn how to speak English, because the fans do want to hear that perspective. And that's why I don't want to, that's why I cannot have a guy who doesn't speak the language being the face of boxing. He cannot communicate to the people and what they want to hear from him. You know?
All right. Well, the big one this weekend, it's not really a huge high-profile fight that you're going to see being talked about on ESPN or any of the other big sports networks, Fox Sports. No one's really going to be talking about this fight, but it's a big fight. It's a significant fight. It's going to be on Showtime, I believe, and it's going to be between Jarett Hurd and Erislandy Lara. This fight is on paper the epitome of a 50-50 fight. This fight is really, really close. And people are divided on who's going to win this fight. The odds are that Erislandy Lara is a minus 115 and Jarett Hurd is a minus 105. So these odds are as close to 50-50 as you can get. Erislandy Lara is the favorite by a hair. But interestingly enough, when this fight was first posted, the lines were first posted for this fight.
There was no line.
No, I found it after we spoke a couple of days later, and I told you Jarett Hurd was the favorite, but he was bet down, and this fight's he's actually the underdog now by a slight margin, by a minus 10. So I think that the narrative here is this is kind of like a boxer versus a slugger type thing that that's the narrative here. And a lot of people are looking at Jarett Hurd as a big slugger, big aggressive guy who takes a lot of shots. And everyone is looking at Lara as that slick, cutesy style type boxer. So, I don't know. I think this is going to depend on what kind of style you like. Do you like the boxer or do you like the aggressor guy? Because with me, I tend to favor the boxer, but that doesn't mean that I think he's going to win all the time. And I like Jarett Hurd's aggressive style. I like his youth. I like the fact that he's busy. I like the fact that even though he's looked upon as a guy who takes a lot of shots, he punches with his opponent. And he punches in combination. And he sets up his shots very well. And he goes to the body. And he throws a varied attack at his opponent. And, he has good foot speed. He has the foot speed where it's good enough where he can cut off the ring against a guy like Lara. He can keep up with Lara's movement. And Lara has a tendency to take long periods of the round off in fights. And I think that's going to be a problem for him. That could be a problem in this fight. Because there's a lot of rounds when you watch Lara fight where you say to yourself, who won that? I'm going to give it to the guy who's moving forward because neither guy really did a lot, but the guy moving forward was making the fight. So, Hurd's not afraid to take punches. He's not afraid to take punches, but he rolls with shots, and he may take two of yours, but all he needs to do is land one of his, and that can make all the difference in the world in a fight with Jarett. And as I said, he gets stronger as the fight goes on. And he wears guys out, later in the fight, and he gets late stoppages against guys who are outboxing him or guys who are moving very well against him and making them miss. So, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Hurd. I'm going to go with Hurd here. I think Hurd will outwork Erislandy Lara, and I think Erislandy Lara can move for so long, and then he's going to have to stop moving. And in those periods where he's forced to stop moving, I think Jarett Hurd is going to make him pay for that.
Give me your key to victory for both fighters. Because the fight is pretty even. Lara got the experience. He is a young 34. He has a great trainer. He got his training camps are done correctly, and he been in a lot of big fights already. So give me your key to victory for both fighters. What did Lara have to do to be somebody like Jarett Hurd?
I think Lara's gonna have to fight a perfect fight. He can't make any mistakes. But the thing is style-wise, this is gonna be a problem. He says he likes guys who are aggressive and come forward. And I think that Paul Williams fight was a fight where Paul Williams came at him and threw a lot of punches. But the thing with Jarett Hurd is, like I said, he punches with you. So Paul Williams would throw his combinations, and a lot of times he would lean into shots face first. He would throw shots when he was out of range. He didn't set his shots up perfectly. Whereas this guy, Jarett Hurd, I think has better timing than Paul Williams. So I think his aggression is just a lot different than Paul Williams' aggression. I think he's a lot faster than Alfredo Angulo. Okay, because that's another fight that was being talked about in comparison to Jarett Hurd versus Erislandy Lara. So I think that he's got better timing than Paul Williams. He's got better punch variation. I think he's a more accurate puncher than Paul Williams. And I think you could arguably say that he may hit close to as hard as Alfredo Angulo. You may give Angulo a slight edge. But at the end of the day, I think he can do what both of those guys do. But he can add his own little twist to it. He can do all that, all what those guys can do and more. And I think that's going to be a problem for Erislandy Lara.
Is Jarett Hurd a better fighter than Canelo?
Is he a better fighter than Canelo?
Yes.
Skill-wise, no. But styles make fights. Could Jarett Hurd beat Canelo? It's not impossible to think that he could. It's like saying that Buster Douglas is a better fighter than Mike Tyson.
But my question is this: what does Erislandy Lara have to do boxing-wise? Break it down for me into boxing.
Okay,
not fight the perfect fight, no, because they both need to fight the perfect fight with each other.
He's got to be consistent. Okay, he's got to be consistent.
If you is training, how do you say, okay, we gotta go and beat this guy? This is what you have to do. Break it down for the people that are Lara's fans.
When this guy is moving forward and throwing punches, he's got to make a miss and he's got to make a pay. He just can't retreat. He just can't be defensive and neglect the counter punching, number one. Number two, he's got to be busier. He's got to be consistent. I'm not saying he's got to throw 1,000 punches around, but he can't throw 1 or 2 punches, and just fight in spurts and expect to win rounds when this guy is doing all the work. And he's going to have to land a big punch and get Jarett Hurd's attention. He's going to have to get Jarett Hurd's respect early to take some of that steam out of Jarett Hurd and to give him second thoughts about being so aggressive and coming forward. So that's what he's got to do.
Okay. This is my take on the fight. Jarett Hurd is very intriguing because of his physical. He's very intriguing and it's very nice to look at him and say, wow, this guy have the will and have everything. But the only thing that he does right is that he keeps coming and the stamina. His ability to cut out the ring is not the best. It's not the best by any means. It's not the best ability to cut a ring. Like, it's not really. What I really see from Jarett Hurd is that he's gonna keep coming throughout the whole 12 rounds. He's very resilient. But the fight, people forget this about Erislandy Lara. Look, Erislandy Lara have people that hit harder than Jarett Hurd. Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone made Andrew Ward hit the canvas. Beat Adonis Stevenson. Those are bigger guys. This is a guy that went on in that. Then Erislandy Lara has factors opponent. Everybody's taller than Erislandy Lara majority of the time. He fought Ronald Hurd. He fought Paul the Punisher Williams. He fought Ferrangulo. Those guys are taller than him. Erislandy Lara only been hit in his career clearly twice. And that was by a Ferrangulo. Twice. Tell me another fight that somebody landed something good against Erislandy Lara. He's very that somebody
against Molina, he was getting hit with some good shots, and some people thought he lost that fight too.
But they were not significantly shot.
Yeah.
Like
Canelo did land a good uppercut against him, and he blooded up his eye with the punch.
But we don't remember. But people like you remember that. Yeah. That you an expert. That you are into the game, not a casual fan. They remember the end result.
Yeah.
You see? So, with all due respect to Jarett Hurd, I think Jarett Hurd, Lara has a point. Aggressive opponent brings the best of him. Because in the Angulo fight, and in the Paul Williams fight, Lara was busier than in any of his other fights. In that fight. In the Angulo fight, Lara has round that were historically good. Round where he was just scoring like 90-something% of his punches. In that Angulo fight. Yeah. In the same fight that he actually, in the Paul Williams fight, the fighter that seems to be the aggressor, that like to come forward, he does better against the guy that seems to be the aggressor than the guy that is trying to knock him out with one punch. Yeah. He does better because the guy that's trying to knock him out with one punch is trying to play a chess match. So in the chess match, you know what he does? He hits you as much as he have to. He make you miss and he's out. He hits you and then you look like you did really good against him because you keep coming forward. But you playing a chess match. You're not really going for a kill with him. So in those fights, he leaves questions. I'm like, oh, he took round early. Oh, he's just not gonna go reckless and do what you do. He wants you to come to him so he can counter you. So sometimes he gets misperceived by the public eyes. If Lara takes less punishment than any other 150 fighter, he just doesn't. You can barely hit him. And somebody, in the way that he got up against Angulo after being put down twice. Look, Angulo landed 2 points the whole fight. Then Angulo was in the fight because of the rule of boxing. 2 knockdowns. You know what we were expecting? Another knockdown for Angulo to win. Yeah. But and even in those rounds, when Angulo landed those points, Angulo was losing the round. It was not like Angulo was applying pressure. Jarett Hurd leave himself open for so many shots. His hands are down. He's gotta take some type of skill to beat a guy like Erislandy Lara more than will. You need to have some type of skill. You need to have a jab going for you. You need to set up those punches. You're not gonna come to him and try to go to the body. You need to set up those punches. Jarett Hurd, look, we see a similar fight. We saw a similar fight. Canelo only landed 12 jabs the whole entire fight. Nobody looks good against this guy. In order for Jarett Hurd to knock him out, he's going to have to apply pressure early, a lot of pressure early, and Jarett Hurd is a slow starter. That's my only thing. I don't doubt he can because it's boxing. Anyone can land a punch. But Jarett Hurd gets so frustrated, and people underestimate Lara's punching ability. If Lara start getting close and start going right for the face, and he close, if one eye get close, it could be history for her. He's going to get so frustrated that they might find themselves asking him, hey, do you want to stop the fight? Do you want to keep going? Because he is the aggressive fighter that is gonna get countered time after time, and he's gonna mix a lot to the body when Lara does the pulling.
Yeah.
So I think it is a very close fight. As much as I'm giving Lara all the praise, it is a very close fight. It is very intense, but Lara wins the fight 8 rounds to 4. It will be a fight that people are gonna say, "Oh no, it was boring. We're not gonna like." It will be like Nonito Donea, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Calfrat, Andre Ward, Canelo, Lara, Paul William, Lara. One of those. I just don't see her pulling the upset because you know why I don't see her pulling the upset? Because everyone is thinking knockout. Everybody making it sound the way you win is by knockout, and in order to, and you're not gonna knock everybody else. And why I don't favor him is because he doesn't have a one punch knockout power. If he did, then I'll be more dangerous because look, he's coming forward, but he needs to do it by accumulation of punches against a guy that you cannot, that your hand can hit what he like. Your hands cannot hit what your side can see. That's how I feel. I do respect your point. You have a very valid point. You make all the sense in the world, but that's my take, and that's why I'm going with
both scenarios. Both scenarios are very possible. You could say that if Hurd doesn't knock Lara out, then he's going to lose on points. But the thing is this: do you think Lara's going to be able to make Hurd miss everything? You don't think Hurd's going to land anything? You don't think he's going to land any significant punches? You don't think that he can turn this fight around? You don't think Lara is susceptible to getting hit in the body? Because
he can learn. He can earn. He can land few body punches from here and there, but those punches can be avoided. And I don't know how he's gonna try to see. I don't know what he's gonna try to do because it all depends on his plan of attack. If the fight starts in the middle of the ring and he's just trying to have Lara backpedaling, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. If he's gonna let Lara come to him, then he got more chance. But if you're gonna just attack him, he knows those traps. Lara fought what 400 amateur fight. He's seen it all. He's one of the best amateur fighter in the history of the game, and he's seen it all. And he's been in big fight. Yeah. This is not new to him. As also, the approach is very. The thing is this: I do not like when fighters give out what the plan is. Oh, this fighter did this, this fighter did that. I'm gonna do the same thing. Listen, that's between you and your corner and you and your manager to really discuss the plan. You don't go out there saying what your game plan is to the other guy. He just way too confident, and then he's guaranteeing knockout. And I think he's overlooking his opponent. Like he's overlooking past Lara going to shallow. And and also that experience of both trainer working with a fighter is really favors this matchup. It's like this. This matchup is either gonna make one of these fighters or it's gonna break them. Jarett Hurd wins, then the division is in trouble, and we are looking at a very special time. So he's doing it all on raw talent. Lara wins, he's the real deal. Bring on the guy with the next belt. But if Jarett Hurd wins, then he gets more credit than Lara do if Lara wins.
So if this fight is close, who's going to get the decision?
Depending on which type of judges we have the night.
It's going to be a PBC fight.
It's going to be a PBC fight, you know.
I don't think Lara's with him anymore.
No, and Hurd is the guy they're trying to push. It's always that the young fighter. There's always the young fighter that gets the benefit of the doubt when they're trying to move up, move with somebody else. So I mean, Randy Shield and Randy Lara really need the plans to. They really need a better execution plan in this fight. Like they really gotta go out there and put on a show, and they are aware of that, and they know the danger they are facing. And look, so this is what you're telling me, kind of. Jarett Hurd is the best junior middleweight. Is he the best junior middleweight?
I kind of like Demetrius Andre. I like him.
Demetrius Andre is a guy that we haven't seen in many years. 4 years ago, Demetrius Andre, 4 or 5 years ago, Demetrius Andre was that real problem. But is Jarett Hurd the guy? Is he better than? Does he beat Jamel?
Jamel Charlo?
Yes.
Could. Tough one.
Does he beat Jamel Charlo? What's the difference between Jarett Hurd and Jamel Charlo?
I may slightly favor Jamel Charlo. So I think maybe Jamel Charlo or Demetrius Andre is the best fighter in this division.
Okay,
But the thing is Jarett Hurd has a style where he can beat anyone on any given night. Question is,
and anyone can beat him too on any given night because of his
yeah.
So that Jamel Charlo and Jamel Charlo, they train with Erislandy Lara.
Yeah.
And those are the fighters that can actually emulate more Jarett Hurd's style.
Yeah, that's true.
In terms of preparation for the fight, he has a tougher camp preparing him for the fight. Because for the group of guys that are in his camp are really, he's in his camp with all the champions. That's what it is like. He's in his camp with all the champions. So it will be good. It will be a good fight. Erislandy Lara have that story behind him.
Yeah.
It will be good to see him prevail. Nice guy, still got his kids in Cuba. Can see them, some of them. So it will be nice for him to get that pound for pound recognition that he deserves. Because and another thing is this: a lot of people that are middleweight don't take the challenge with Lara. Why do you think is that? Why do you think a lot of middleweight don't want to fight him if he's the small guy and they can beat him? Like Gennady Golovkin doesn't want to get in the ring with him. His promoter said, we're not interested in this fight.
Well, I think that the risk for reward, I don't think that he brings a lot of money to the table for a lot of these other fighters to fight him, but I don't know. It's just
Golovkin.
Obviously, he's got a very challenging style. There's no question.
Golovkin didn't want to fight Erislandy Lara, so we cannot say, "Oh, it's the fight he's gonna look bad," because why would he fight Kell Brooks?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but he's 34. He's getting old. His legs are gonna start slowing down, if not yet, if they already haven't. So we'll see.
He fight once or twice a year. So
we'll see what happens.
It's not like he takes a beating. Why should take on Conor McGregor? Tell me the whole situation. I bringing up Conor McGregor because he was part of boxing. Conor McGregor is a guy that is still speculating as now he should turn into a boxer.
Yeah.
Boxers want to fight Conor McGregor. Like Manny Pacquiao would like to get in the ring with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor could possibly make it interesting and start a boxing career. Conor McGregor is a good sell promoter. He knows how to sell a fight. Conor McGregor did a good job taking the Floyd Mayweather fight. It was good for him, good for the sport. He earned the respect of the fan. But what was your whole take? Like Dana White is very upset. He's saying that this wasn't planned, that this is not a prank, that this is not to do anything to cause controversy. How do you feel about Conor McGregor and his action at Barclays Center?
I think it was despicable. I think it was horrible, and I think there's got to be some type of issues this guy's dealing with. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know why he just doesn't take all this aggression and anger out on an opponent inside the octagon? Why is he doing all this stuff outside? You have a problem with somebody, and if he's a fighter and you're a fighter, you might as well just take care of it inside the octagon. I don't understand why he wouldn't just do that inside the octagon. I don't understand.
This is bad because Conor McGregor is like the face of the of the, of the UFC. You know, and like the possibility of Conor McGregor getting back in the boxing ring is still there. Like people still want him to.
Well, I don't want to see him back in the boxing ring. I'd rather see him back in the octagon. And
yeah, but he doesn't have a reason why to get in the octagon.
Well,
take a lot more punishment when he can make a lot more money in boxing.
We'll see. I mean, who else could he fight in boxing where he can make a lot of money? I don't know.
He can fight Manny Pacquiao. He'll make a lot of money, 15, 20, 30 million.
Yeah.
You know, people will pay for that.
Yeah.
He can fight Floyd Mayweather in a rematch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still. No.
Well, we'll see. Well, that's about it for this week, guys. We'll see what happens with this fight coming up on Saturday. We'll see if I'm right or Cisco's right. Until next time, guys, this is the Realest in Boxing Podcast. I'm Beeb, and this is Cisco, the Realist. We'll see you next week.
Next week, 1:30.